Hey designer, Alex here, welcome to the channel and welcome to this new video series here on the channel. Welcome to the video 3 in which we are going to continue where we left off the previous week. So in the video 1 we discussed design brief, we created some paper wireframes. In video 2 we included those paper wireframes inside of Adobe Xd, in which we then created real wireframes that we can share with our clients to get additional feedback before we move on to design. In this video we are going to finally start with the design, and I'm going to show you how you can import images, how you can include drop shadows, how you can change different colors and so on. This insert is from my new video course, Adobe Xd Masterclass, which you can find the link to down below in the description. I'm also giving you a massive discount on that course, so make sure to click that and to check that. Simply enter the coupon code which is listed down below to get that massive discount. The course is over 20 hours long and we are going to cover a bunch of these different website design techniques, and we are going to cover the entire design process inside of that course, which is why it's over 20 hours long. So if you are interested, make sure to check that out, but for now, let's jump inside this video. Welcome to the third video from this website design series. In the first video, I showed you the design brief and the paper wireframe. In the second video, which was this one, we brought that paper wireframe in that you see right here and we recreated it in Adobe Xd. Now in this third video, we are going to start with the design. We're going to change it. We're going to include different images. We're going to include different gradients and so on and so forth, different icons. So let's get started. And one quick reminder, if you didn't see the video 1 and 2 and this doesn't make too much sense to you, then go back and watch those two videos. So it will all make much more sense, so you will be able to understand and to follow up what we are doing right here and why we are doing it the way that we are. So let's get started. And the first thing I'm going to do right here is include an image. And I have an image created already. It's a PNG image and I already cut it. And if you want to see how and why I did all of this, you can quickly jump inside and watch my course, because this video series is the insert from that course. You can check it out at a massive discount below. Simply apply that discount code at the checkout and you will be able to get it at that discounted price. As you can see, I already included some different icons right here, and we can now get started with this. So we have Happy People image, which is this image. It's just a PNG, as I said, and it's basically an image with no background in it. And let's go ahead and bring it inside of our hero section. So I'm going to place it right here, like so. Next, I'm going to make sure it's at the bottom, and let me increase it in size just a little bit like that. What I'm going to do next is create a background circle, because if I take you back to here, you can see that we have a circle signifying unity and we have these 3 different shapes. So let's get started with the circle. So I'm going to use this, so ellipse tool. Make sure it's in the center of my image, somewhere roughly around here, for example. And I can lower it in height, for example, something like this. And let's see, we can use, I don't know, 754 with 754. I think that's going to work really well. Perhaps somewhere around here, maybe. Select these two, make sure they are in the center like that. Then move them out of the way just a little bit to somewhere around here. And I'm going to call it circle. And let's see, let's give it some design. So I'm going to use this color. I'm going to remove my border. I'm going to use no, let's go without shadow. Let's use background blur. And for the background blur amount, let's go with 50, 50, and opacity is 12, something like that. I think it works fine. Next, I'm going to move it below. And what I'm also going to do is duplicate my hero BG, Control D. And I'm going to position it just on top of my circle. Select both of them, hit Shift Control M to mask it. I'm going to call it mask. And basically it's going to cut off the bottom of this circle and position it behind these two guys. So what I'm going to do next is use my pen tool And let's see, perhaps I can go with, I don't know, somewhere around here. Then, for example, somewhere around here. And what I'm basically going to do is freehand a nice looking shape somewhere around here, for example, and let it end right around here. Maybe I can connect it down. And what I'm going to do is remove the border, include the fill, and for the fill color, let's see, maybe we can go with a gradient, so linear gradient, for example. And for our linear gradient, maybe we can use our colors. So let's go back and let's see, for this one I can use, I don't know, let's see, maybe this color. For this color we can use the same, so let's go back one more time. We can use the same, and let's see, so for example I can bring it in nicely inside to here. I can lower this down like so, and let's see, we can go from a lighter color, which is this one, to darker, something like that. Let's see where we are, right there. And we can play around with these sliders to achieve a certain result. You can even move this bottom one if you want really light shade. Maybe I can nudge it to this corner. Let's see how that looks like. I think that looks just fine, and you can obviously play around however you want. Let's call it hero shape, and let's position it just behind our people but in front of our circle. If I click outside, you can see how that looks like. That looks really well. And let's now go ahead and include some of these different elements. If I take you back, sorry, to here, you can see that we have a circle, we have this line, and we have this X shape. So let's go back and let's start with the X, for example. I can create a nice one like this. So 50 with, I don't know, 10. I think that's going to work just fine. Or maybe 80. Like 15. 100 for the corner radius, so it's rounded all the way. And let's jump back and use this green color now. For example, click outside. I think that looks just fine. Let's rotate it by holding Shift 45, Control D, and I'm simply going to click, let's see, maybe I can click right here, so I can flip it and select both of them and call this close. Let's see, I can move it inside of here. That looks fine, and you can place it wherever you want. I'll place it out of the way, for example, somewhere around here. And these are just the shapes to give it some more visual interest. For example, perhaps this is a branding thing. Maybe they like to use these things. So let's go with a circle, so 80 by 80. And instead of the fill, I'm going to use this color. So let's quickly check it out, because sometimes it wants to select the color of these columns. So let's see, for the circle we can use the size of 10, for example. I think that's going to work just fine. Perhaps we can position it right around here, maybe even in the center of these guys. It's all really up to you. And finally, I'm going to use a pen tool and simply create a shape somewhere like there. Hit escape. I'm going to use this, and let's see, maybe I can use 10 here as well. That's fine. Go back to our colors, click right here, then right here to select that same color. And then I can click outside, click back in, and then rotate it. And if at any point you want to change it, simply double click on it, and you can adjust all of these points however you want, and you can get a different shape basically. So let's rotate it somewhere like this. I'm going to call it line. I'm going to call this circle. Next, I'm going to group all of them and call them shapes, like that. And you can now already see, if I hit preview right here, how our design is nicely taking shape, and it's already looking like a real website. The next step for us is the copy. So not to waste too much time, I'm going to simply copy and paste from my original design. Let's see, we can select this next one as well, and then we can work on our spacing. So let's see, we need 50 for the spacing, so 40 and then 50. And then finally I'm going to use a rectangle tool, same like I did in the previous video. Position it to here and to here. Select it and the text. Make sure text is in the center, delete my rectangle, and there we have it. You can start seeing now that it's already taking shape really nicely. But I really don't like how this text looks like inside of our button. I would really like this to stay at 18 and this to be 24, for example. So I can jump inside of this component and just remember we created these down. So let's change this to 24, where it is, here, white. And once again, make sure it's in the center like this. As you can see, because we dragged and dropped this component down, it didn't change. And that's the point with these components. If you want it to change, let me go back like that. So main button, what I have to do is use a Control D or Alt and drag it down. Then drag it outside. Here it is. Position it all the way to here. Locate where this is, so accounts info text. Click on it, drag it and position it inside of that folder like that. Remove this one, and you can see, because this is an instance, it's not a filled diamond. While if I select this one, you can see it's a filled diamond because this is our main component. So let's go ahead now and change it. So if I click right there, 24 white, it still didn't change. So let's actually click on it because I'm determined to find out why this didn't happen. So let's go to edit main component. Oh, so this was our main component because I tried to change that right here. All right, so let's do that. I'm going to click inside 24 white, make sure it's in the center, and let's see now. Yeah, now it changed to here, it changed here, and it changed here. So you can always right click and then go edit main component. It will show you where the main component is. In this case it was our wireframe, and basically that's why it keep bringing us back to that component. Now that that's finished and this hero section is finished, we can go ahead and work on our accounts section, because that section is basically going to have the most information inside. So let's jump inside and start with our icons. So as you can see, I already included some of these icons inside. So let me bring them in like this. Let's see, like this. This is going to be millennial. I'm not going to replace it, but you can replace it. Simply hover and it's going to replace that. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to put it inside, and I'm going to show you why in a second. Next, select the start account, locate your icon, and simply drag it in, align it, make sure it's in the center like this. And that's why I like to do this, because sometimes this spacing, for example, is not good enough, so you need to change it. This spacing is not good enough, so for all of those things you need to do it like that, but otherwise you can always do it that way, as you can see we did right here. So it replaced the original icon, so I'm going to position it to be 40, same like it is right here. So millennial, move it down, position it here like that, like this. There we have it. Remove the star icon, and finally we need a premium package and premium account right there in the center. I'm going to remove the star, select this in the selector, click right here to position it in the center, and there we have it. You can see that all of these icons are premium icons, and I explained where I got it in the course. You're going to get it as well in the course, but for some of these we have this, so I purposely went inside and removed the color. So you can simply hide the color, and I'm going to show you that in a next video where we are actually going to explore animation. But for now, let's just leave it as it is. But because this is a start account and it's selected, I'm going to do that for the start account. So simply hide the color to indicate that this is selected. Next, I'm going to jump inside my info section and use an image I already prepared. Simply drag and drop it inside. There it is. And let's now go ahead and change this to a real text, same like we did up there. So Nubank start account, it's describing the account itself. Instead of learn more, I'm going to select apply now. There we have it. And let's see, something about this button doesn't work well with me. It's 60, but I want it to be 70. So you can always go back to your main component, jump inside and extend it to 70. And there we have it. You can see that automatically all of these buttons are at 70 and everything applied as it should. So that's why I really like to work with these Adobe Xd components, and everything just looks and works much better and much faster than ever before. So there we have it. We have completed this section. What I'm going to do is make 4 copies. So hit Ctrl D, Ctrl D, Ctrl D. And I'm going to start by bringing this inside each of these. So this is going to be our start account. This is going to be for the foreign account, like that. This is going to be for the millennial account. And finally, this is going to be for the premium account. Why I did this is so I can go ahead and change all of them and include different information for each of them. So simply hide this one. I'm going to hide these two so I can work on this one, which is the foreign account. So let's see, I can jump inside and change all of them separately if I want to. So let's see, for each of them I can jump and change all of the other ones. So let's see, I can take the text from my original design. Foreign account, this is going to still say apply now, but each of them are going to have different text inside. So let's see, for the foreign account we have finished. I can hide the entire thing if I want to. This is going to be millennial account. And sorry, for the foreign account I forgot to change the image. So this image right here, I'm going to drag and drop my image inside, double click, and I can position it if I want to, but I'm going to leave it there because I think it works well. So next up is millennial account. So let's see, we can change that. And I'm doing this just to speed things up a little bit. Obviously, you are going to copy and paste your real text once you get to your design. So apply now, it's the same, but we are just going to change this image to this image. Let's see, perhaps I can nudge it down just a little bit so her head is not too cut away. Now that that's completed, I can hide this entire section, for example, and work on this premium section. So let's see, for the premium package, I'm going to drag and drop this image. And let's see what we can do. So premium package. I'm going to paste in this text, and there we have it. So what I'm going to do is bring all of these back. I'm just going to lower the opacity of each of these info sections, like that. Millennial account, info section, lower the opacity down, like that. Foreign account, bring it back, lower the opacity down. Start account, bring it back, and it's going to show like that because, as you can see, it's selected. In the next video, I'm going to explain animation, how all of this is going to translate between all of these different sections. But before that, let's finish up our design. Instead of accounts, I'm going to write in open your perfect account today, and that text is going to stay put whatever they have selected there. So let's quickly go ahead and preview what we've done so far. So you can see that we have this section with these buttons. We have these 4 beautiful icons. We have our image with rounded corners, And now let's go ahead and work on our common questions, because we have finished the footer and this info strip section in the previous video. So the only thing which is left is this section here. So let's go ahead and work on it. So what I'm actually going to do is start by copy. So I'm going to simply copy and paste original text right here, like that. And because this is finalized, all of these are original, we're not going to change them, but we're going to work on these other ones. So this is the same as this was. You can see these three are basically the same. So we are going to change these questions to the questions that correspond better with each of these sections. So all three are going to be basically have the different questions, different answers, different text explaining what it is, and so on. So there we have it, and let me quickly copy and paste this text in like that. And I'm using a separate screen obviously to copy and paste this from my original design, but you can just imagine that you have all of this information either in a PDF or Word file or whatever else. Also, I have these icons right here, and as I said, you're going to get these icons so you can drag and position them here if you want to, like that. And you can click on this one, reposition it, but if I jump inside, you can see that we don't have that spacing that we originally included. So I'm going to jump inside and change that spacing once again to 40 or 39.8, whatever it allows me to do. So all the way down to 0. Let's try it like this. There we have it. And now that all of them are aligned, we can call this section quits and finalize that. And that's basically it for our design. This video was a little bit shorter than the previous video, but I just wanted to quickly show you what you can do once you already have your wireframe. So now let's go ahead and go through all of these and explain what all of them are. So basically, in the first video, we went through our design brief. I explained to you what we are going to do in this video series. Then we jump inside and created a paper wireframe. In the second video, we draw that paper wireframe inside of Adobe XD. Then, sorry, not draw, but dropped. Then we have recreated it in Adobe XD to look like this. In this video, we went inside and changed our design a lot more. And if I hit a preview for the final time, you can see how everything looks like. And everything looks nice and clean. It follows everything, and you can see that we have changed everything right here, but instead of this one, you can see that these two are the same. So let's jump inside and fix that. Let me quickly see what we need to do. Let's just leave it there. Let's just leave it as it is and not waste too much time with it, because sometimes the copy is the same across all of your designs, but if not, you can always go ahead and change it. That's it for this video. I'm not going to duplicate this artboard anymore, because in the next video we're actually going to prototype it. I'm going to show you how this navigation is going to stay put once you start scrolling. We are going to include some hover effects to the buttons, and we are going to include some nice little animations and transitions between all of these different states, which we are going to create for these different accounts and different icons. So I'll see you in the next video. Thank you for watching this video. I really hope you found some value in it. If you did, make sure to press that like button. I upload new videos every single week on design, passive income techniques, motivation, and more. So if you don't want to miss that, make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.